On this Tuesday morning, we've got your back this morning with a list of toys you may want to avoid buying this holiday season. Some toys actually found to be hazardous because of what they're made of. Maybe they're choking hazards, or perhaps they just make too much noise, which drive parents crazy. Joining me now is Sean Doyle of Conperg, going over a few of the toys that are on that dangerous toy list. The list came out yesterday. It's got people talking. Let's start with the choking hazards. This is one that particularly parents and grandparents of little children need to be aware of.
Yeah, exactly. So we released our report yesterday. We've been doing this for 29 years, and choking hazards are some of the most prevalent and dangerous hazards that are still out there for children.
This looks awfully big. What about it creates the choking hazard?
So this is, for much older kids, 3 to 6 years of age, but there are small parts in the middle. You can see in the packaging there's small parts that younger siblings could choke on as well.
Something to be thinking about.
And in particular with this thing, this is marketed for young children around 2 years of age, but it has a small piece that fits into a choke test cylinder, which is what the government uses as its reference for what is a choking hazard.
Is that a piece from the set, or is that a piece that broke off?
It's a piece from the set. It actually comes this size.
Because this is kind of like a foam building block?
Yep, exactly.
Kind of thing. All right. And then balloons are always an issue with choking. We always
balloons
worry
are
about
definitely
that, right?
an issue. But we recommend that parents use an empty toilet paper roll as like a gauge for what is a choking hazard. If it fits in here, it's too young for a child under 3.
Let's talk a little about some of the toxic toys, the hazardous materials, perhaps.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of different toys in our report that have toxics in them: lead, chromium, phthalates. And we have 2 here in particular, this badge set that has over the limit of lead. And then we have this Jake tambourine, which has 9 times the limit of chromium allowed.
How does this happen? You mentioned that there are government standards. There are government standards when it comes to choking as well. And the Toy Industry Association comes out with a report against your report saying everything that goes on the market has to be tested. So how do we get to this point? What do you have to say about what the toy industry says?
Yeah, so everything on the market should be tested, but that's not the reality oftentimes. So there are toys that slip through the cracks. Agencies don't have the funding they need to actually get out and test. And that's why there's groups like Conperg that actually get out and do some of this testing. We send this to a certified lab to get all the testing done. And we find that there are still hazards on the shelves today.
All right, real quickly, we have about 20 seconds left. Tell me about some of the noise problems.
So noisy toys, this is a problem for kids' hearing.
Parents too.
Yeah, exactly. And these don't actually violate any standards, but we agree with hearing advocates that those standards need to be strengthened. Particularly when you're playing with toys like these, much too loud for young children.
So give me an example here. Is that loud because if a child gets real close to it, that's where the issue comes in? All right.
Yeah, and in particular with some of these younger things, or toys meant for much younger kids, holding them up by their ears, just too loud for young kids.
All right. Sean, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Conperg did the report.